Good afternoon, everybody. So today's my topic is analytical quality by design. So in this, all of you are having basic knowledge about HPLC. So I can directly go to analytical quality by design. So it is a quality by design approach which is extended to analytical also. So especially I am going to focus on HPLC method development, how this analytical quality by design is useful. So in this, suppose if we are doing any method development, what parameters we are going to check, like SST parameters. So based on that, we are going to develop a method. That means if you want to develop HPLC method, we will be focusing on SST parameters such as retention time, theoretical plates and resolution. Okay, so all these parameters should be within the limits. Like retention time, of course there is no limit, but if it is in the range of 5 to 10, it will be good. Not 10, up to 5. 5 minutes range is means it's good. And number of theoretical plates beyond 3000, it is acceptable. And if you are doing simultaneous analysis, the resolution should be more than 2. And tailing factor also we are going to see, or asymmetry we are going to see. So all these parameters will be considered as a outputs. Yes sir, outputs. And our inputs are what we are going to apply for the method to get a peak or to get resolution. So the inputs will be mobile phase composition, like how much aqueous phase you are using, and what is the pH of your aqueous phase, and what is the flow rate you are using, and wavelength you are using. All these considered as a inputs. So based on these inputs, we can able to modify our outputs. So for that, how this QPD is helpful. In general, what we are going to do is trial and error basis. So sometimes we will increase the pH, sometimes we decrease the pH, or sometimes we increase the aqueous phase, sometimes we decrease the aqueous phase, so as to get a good peak and good resolution. But these and our trial and error basis while we are doing, there is no chemistry or there is no funda. But here with a fundamental concept, we are doing the same one. Okay. So this AQPD or quality by design, the parameters which we are going to see are the first one is define method performance requirements. So what output you require, like retention time I want 5 minutes, and resolution I want 3, theoretical plates 3000. These are the define method performance requirements. What are the requirements you require? Then perform method development. Methods development, like the instrument will give you some trials. So these trials we have to perform. Then design of experiments. So this is the very important one, DOE. So the instrument will give you some experiments which we need to try. After that, establish MODR, that is method operable design region. So in this region you can apply, it will give wide range. Suppose if you are doing a method development, 85:50 ratio means we have to fix for that only. But here it will give, we can go 85 to 90% or 92 to 83%. So in that range, whatever the range you are taking, you will be getting your desired output. So we have plenty of space, that is MODR. And verify MODR and validate, nothing but the method validation. So whether the instrument has given these conditions, those conditions we will be verifying whether we are getting the desired output or not, we are going to check. And then continuous monitoring. So continuously if you want to still develop the method, so we will be changing some parameters according to this design space or MODR. So the same slide only in detail it is explained here. So target measurements based on the product QTPP, quality target product profile, and CQA, critical quality attributes. So critical quality attributes fix cheskoni, we will be fixing. Accordingly we will select the method. So same like HPLC parameters. Then select techniques for the desired measurements. So techniques are nothing but same. These two are interrelated. Same like the previous slide what we have discussed. So here we are going to select some methods, some parameters like the output. Same here also the outputs which we are going to select. Whereas in case of pharmaceutics, if you are doing a quality by design, so there if you want to develop a fast dissolving tablet or slow or modified release or targeted drug delivery systems, so in such conditions these will be varying, accordingly will be varying. And risk assessment using FMECA, that is failure mode effective critical analysis. Method development and validation using design of experiments. The same steps only again. Establish quality strategy, then continuous improvement. So this is method validation, and the same method will be applying, then continuous improvement. Still if you want to further improve, suppose you are doing a stability assay method, so you will be selecting the retention time in the range of 6 minutes. Why? Because so suppose if you are keeping 3 minutes as your retention time, some degradants you will be getting less than 3 minutes. So less than 3 minutes means they may go under wide volume. So in such conditions, already you have fixed like 3 you have optimized, but in the continuous improvement mode we want to shift to 5 minutes. So in such conditions we can shift according to the design space, and then we can develop a method. So in that is a good retention time for stability studies methods. So recently I think Chitra Shekhar and some of your friends were doing some photo stability or something studies. So in such conditions they used to keep minimum 5 RT. So again the key components are analytical target profile ATP and critical process parameters which we need to select. What are the parameters which we need to require? Critical quality attributes, risk assessment, design of experiments, method of MODR, control strategy, AQBD method validation, and continuous improvement. So role of analytical methods in drug development process. So what is the analysis importance in drug development process? So it is having a key role throughout the drug life cycle, starting from the API to stability studies as well as product development. After product development also the analytical department plays important role. So the first one is continuous process verification, monitoring trends in product quality. So the chemistry person will synthesize a product API. So there the analytical person will check whether the product is good or not. First whether the product is formed or not, synthesized or not, that they have to check. Then we have to see the product quality, does it contain any impurities or not. Then process monitoring and control, make corrections before failure occurs, allows implementation of RT, that is real time release release transfer of RT. So release before going to release into the market, that we are going to see this one. Next, pharmaceutical development. So in development, of course, product development we have very high role, synthesis as well as drug product manufacturing. Everywhere this analytical department plays vital role. So why we need AQBD? Because this is having regulatory flexibility. You might be knowing Q13, ICH Q13 is for this QBD, and monitor and for control variability. So we can monitor throughout process. So suppose ikkada meeku edaina problem vachindi, ekkada problem vachindi, that we can able to monitor easily, and develop robust methods. That is a very important parameter of AQBD. Robustness is one of the parameters which we are going to do in the validation. So but if you are doing a AQBD method development, robustness is a very minute criteria, which even though if you are not doing, that is not at a it's not at all a problem. Why? Because we will see in the next slides. So the difference between the traditional versus AQBD approach. So in the traditional approach, information on synthetic route, whereas here information on same. But here if you see literature search and search the goal. Here literature search and ATP, analytical target profile, what we need to establish and what we need to quantify or what we need to do, that we will be doing here. And here method optimization and development. So trial and error method lo chestuntam. But here identification of CQA, critical quality attributes first మనం fix చేసుకొని accordingly we will go in a planned manner, will go in AQBD. Planned manner will be going. and fix the sample preparation and chromatogram conditions. సో ఒకసారి మనం ఆప్టిమైజ్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ట్రయల్ అండ్ ఎర్రర్ మెథడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఓకే దిస్ ఇస్ మై మొబైల్ ఫేస్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద రేషియో, లైక్ దట్ విల్ బి ఫిక్సింగ్, దెన్ విల్ బి రన్నింగ్ ద లీనియారిటీ అండ్ ఆల్ విల్ బి డూయింగ్. అంటే మెథడ్ ఆప్టిమైజేషన్ అండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ DOE, డిజైన్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్స్, అండ్ దెన్ మెథడ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఫైనలైజేషన్. సో మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేస్తాం. బట్ హియర్ MODR అండ్ రిస్క్ అసెస్మెంట్, మళ్ళీ దానివల్ల ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయా అనేసి విల్ బి చెకింగ్. Then pre-validation, method validation here, then we'll go for the method transfer. And suppose we are developing a one method in ER&D, then we will transfer that to QC for routine analysis. But whereas here control strategy and risk assessment will be applying, then AQBD method validation. So these steps will be easy, if that is method validation will be very simple if you are approaching AQBD. Whereas here if you are applying normal traditional method, but validation it will take much time, and validated document is very very important. So if you are approaching AQBD, they will not keenly observe validation data if you approach AQBD. Then CMM, continuous method monitoring or continuous improvement, we will be checking. The same one again here they mentioned almost the same steps only, but little bit different manner they explained. So QTPP identification, quality target, product profile. This is in synthetic, whereas this is in analytical. In synthetic, quality target product profile, whereas here analytical target profile. And CQA and CMA, that is critical quality attributes, continuous monitoring analysis, whereas here only CQA we are going to check. Define product design space, DOE, and this is also same, but here this is varies. Refine product design space, but here we have MODR, we have much space to do your analysis, and remaining steps are similar in QBD or AQBD. So how the AQBD work flows? So starting, this is the first step which we are see, that is ATP, that is analytical target profile identification. What we are going to do, that is the main goal we are going to fix here. Then CQA, then method optimization by using DOE, then MODR, the space which we have to select. After that control strategy and risk assessment, then validation, and CMM, continuous improvement. So implementation of AQBD, analytical target profile, analytical method performance characteristics. So the first one is method performance characteristics, accuracy, specificity and linearity. We are going to see in analytical method development, AQBD. And the same parameters are defined in the ICH as systemic variability, and precision detection limit, LOD and LOQ, inherent random variability as per ICH. Of course all are covered in AQBD are there in the ICH. To say that we have this slide. So risk assessment, we have a formula, that is severity of the occurrence and severity and occurrence and detestability. So based on these parameters we are going to check the risk assessment, how much risk is there with the method, how we can able to get, or how we can able to reach our goal. So design of experiments means first we have to go for screening, then optimization, selection of DOE, that is design of experiments, then MODR, then method validation. So these are the steps in DOE. Screening, first we have to take some 10 methods. So that how we are going to check, I will show you in the next slide. So this is design of experiments, screening, optimization and selection of drugs. We have some 4 methods are there in AQBD. You might be heard these methods: full factorial design, fractional factorial design, full fractional, Plackett-Burman method, pseudo Monte Carlo sampling. These are the 4 different methods available in QBD: full factorial, fractional factorial, Plackett-Burman and pseudo Monte. So each and every one having some specialization. So if you have to optimize only 2 to 5 variables, will be 2 to 5 variables. If you want to optimize, we will select this full factorial design. Like outputs. So outputs అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఏమేమి కావాలా, RT, resolution, peak area, and if you want to go for further anything, then we will go for this one. And optimization and only screening of variables, we'll go for fractional pattern. Screening and identification of vital few factors from large number of variables. This is especially useful for pharmacological drug isolation. So suppose if you take a natural product, it contains number of compounds, but you want only few compounds screening. So in such conditions, we can go for Plackett Burman. Then quantitative risk analysis. If you want to go for quantification, then we can go for pseudo Monte Carlo sampling method. So these are the how based on the parameters which method we have to select, and each and every one is having different advantages and disadvantages. So this is the contour plot. So where we are going to get the design space which we require for the analysis. So if you see the design method operable design region and surface plot model. So here if you see systemic simulation graph for retention time x2 axis as a method response constant, that is 0.8 ml per minute flow rate. So suppose if you are taking three parameters, flow rate, pH, aqueous phase, one parameter we are going to keep constant and remaining two we can change. So here the flow rate they kept constant and the pH as well as the aqueous phase they changed. So upon that how the retention time is changing, whether the retention time is constant or whether it is decreasing or increasing, that graph is shown here. And graph shows that significant correlation between the predicted retention time and actual retention time. So if you see here, both all are almost similar. This is the actual one and this is a predicted one by the AQBD. So all are staying on the same line. That means that మనం ఏవైతే ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేసామో ఆ రిజల్ట్స్ వస్తున్నాయి according to our AQBD trials. That means the method is acceptable. So method verification and validation control strategy. So here if you see first for raw materials testing, what control strategy you are following, and in process testing what control strategy you are following, release testing and stability testing. So raw material testing specification based on the product QTPP and CQA, whereas for in process, so in process especially this is useful for pharmaceutics QBD when they are doing. So when you are processing a tablet, so in process quality control test you are going to perform. So in between if you have any problem, then if you want to check real time analysis, so that is in process testing. And release testing, so once the product is ready to release, that is release testing. Real time release testing, that is RTRT means real time release testing. And stability testing, so predict the predictive models at release, minimize stability failures. So whether the drug is stable or not. So some of you are doing stability testing also. Why we are performing means whether it will produce any harmful impurities if you are not, if you are even though you are maintaining stable conditions. And that's why whenever you are doing stability testing, you have to give always standard also. Standard and sample. Sample is nothing but the drug which you are exposed to stability conditions, different stability conditions. So every time if you have to give standard as well as sample. Standard means which is aqueous solution where we kept, that is drug. So if in the standard also you are getting peak means, so that we can able to easily say that the drug is not stable in the room temperature also. So that is about stability testing. Next, PAT, pharmaceutical analytical technique. Quality check of raw materials, pharmaceutical manufacturing process, then QC. So this is the raw material testing, then in process testing, finally QC testing. So what are the different tests which we are going to perform? Analytical quantified design approach in RP-HPLC method. So of course appearance, whether clear or it is having any impurities or something, that visual method will be checking. And identity, okay, it is identified. That we can do either IR or UV methods, lambda, max, different functional groups we will be using. Assay 98.5 to 105 or 98 to 102 is acceptable. That we can do by HPLC, UV or HPTLC. And impurities should be less than, and we have different types of impurities, they should be less than the threshold level. And that we can all do by HPLC stability testing method. Content according to EP or IP or USP, according to which monograph you are following, accordingly we will be selecting. That is HPLC assay method, content uniformity. Heavy metals, of course, AAS will be using atomic absorption spectroscopy. But here we are using for these two, that is assay, impurities and content uniformity, we are using this HPLC method. See here, this is one of the example. The three parameters are inputs. You can observe cleanly pH, percentage of aqueous phase, flow rate. Three parameters they have selected as inputs, x1, x2, x3. So this level selection is very, very important for us. So once if you are able to select these methods, then 70% of your work is over while you are doing analytical quantified design. So if you are able to select these levels, then your almost 80%, 70 to 80% of work is finished. How we have to select this? So normally you know the column can be stable in the range of 3 to 7. Yes or no? 3 to 7 pH only the column is stable. Less than 3 we cannot go, beyond 7 also we cannot go. And also while you are selecting pH, there is another parameter which we need to consider is pKa. Yes or no? So here the drug pKa is somewhere around 3. So if the drug pKa is 3, how much we can keep the pH of the mobile phase? Plus or minus 1. Plus or minus 1. So it should be more than 4 and less than 2 or something. But less than 2 we cannot keep. So that's why they have fixed 5 to 7. 5 to 7 is the extreme values. 5 to 7 extreme values. That we have to fix first. To fix this table, extreme levels we have to fix. So 5 is the least level which we can able to fix because the drug pKa is something around 3.5. So we cannot go 4.5 or 4. So 5 least level. Extreme level means 7 beyond we cannot go. So that's why 7. Okay. Next, percentage of aqueous phase, how they kept is 5 is the least value. Less than 5 means there is no effect of the aqueous phase. And beyond 25 if they go, the column back pressure is high in these conditions. The column back pressure is high. That's why they kept only 25 is the extreme value for aqueous phase. And least value 5, below 5 we cannot go. There is no effect. So 5, 25 is the least and extreme. You can go up to 30 also if your column is supporting. If your column is supporting 30% mobile phase, you can go up to 30 also. If it is supporting 40, you can go 40 also. But you have to fix this level according to your column back pressure. Then flow rate. So flow rates you know 0.8 to 1.2 are the maximum levels and minimum and maximum levels. Beyond 0.2, if 0.7 or 7 below this if you go, the peak shape will be very broader because low elution will be there. If you go beyond 1.2, what is the problem? Column back pressure again. So that's why these two are the extreme levels. So once if we fix these two levels, then our work will be easier. So then if you want this one, average of these two, 5 plus 7 divided by 2, will get this one. Then average of these two will get the minus 1 level. Average of these two will be given to minus 1 level. And plus 1 level, average of these two, 6 plus 7 by 2. Okay. Similarly here also 5, 25, 30 divided by 2 is the middle value, that is 0 level. And these two average is the 10 and these two average is the 20. Similarly here also 0.8, 1.2, average is 1 and these two average, these two average. So if you are able to fix these, then you are ready to go for next. That means everything is finished almost. You can get relaxed. Then if you keep all these values in the software, AQBD software, it will give you these values. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, 16 values. 16 parameters which we need to check. So if you try all these 16, then your method is over. 16 methods if you are tried, your method is over. So if you are going for trial and error method, we are not sure that in 16 trials I can optimize the condition. You are not sure. Sometimes you may get 3 levels, 3 trials only, but you cannot sure that in 16 trials I can get a optimized condition. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here nothing but x1, x2, x3 are the. This is x1, this is x2, this is x3. So the first condition pH 5.5, aqueous phase 10, and flow rate 0.9. These are what are these means? No need to worry about this. just if you keep the means all these values in the system only will give. You have to try all these trials. Okay. So if you try all these trials, you will get a contour graph like this. So here pH of aqueous phase versus percentage of aqueous phase, pH and percentage of aqueous phase, but one will be kept constant and 1.2 ml of flow rate constant. So always one parameter we have to keep constant, remaining two parameters should be changed. So if you change accordingly, this is the fixed one, and one phase is for pH of the mobile phase and the other phase is aqueous percentage condition. And actually this is in black color. Normally if it should be in the colored mode, then you can able to easily understand. So these are the outputs. So the first one I think you cannot able to see 0 to 4. Your retention time is 0 to 4. The next one is 4 to 4.5. And the next one is 4.5 to 5, and next one is 5.5 to 6, and 6 to beyond 6, more than 6. Suppose if you want 5 to 6 or 5.5 to 5, so you have to select this one. 5 to 6 if you want your retention time of a drug. This area, so this area it is colored one, this one, and the white color one is here now, this one. So 4.5 to 5 if you want your retention time, you can fix. I want 4.5. You can fix. So then you can select any of this range, pH and aqueous phase. pH and aqueous phase, if you select any of this white range, you will get your retention time in the range of 4.5 to 5. So like that we can select. Everything is in our control. Retention time, no need to bother. We can fix. So I want 4 means you can get 4. You want 5 means 5 you can get. So this is the peak what they got, and quadratic model was obtained on application of the Sigmatech software with the polynomial equation. And those who are afraid of mathematics, no need to bother about these equations and all. Y is nothing but the output. Always remember x is input, y is output. So y is equals to some equation this is, and the equation what it is telling, this is the x1 term, this is x2 term, and this is x3 term. Okay, these three terms, how they are having impact. Suppose the symbol is negative, that means inversely proportional. The symbol is negative means inversely proportional. If the symbol is positive, directly proportional. Ante x1 ante enti parameter na 3 inputs cheppanu kada. First parameter pH. So the pH is having negative impact on the retention time. That means if you increase the pH, retention time decreases. And the second parameter, if you see here, positive impact. The second parameter is aqueous phase. So aqueous phase, if you increase, RT also increases. And the next parameter is flow rate. Flow rate is having again negative impact. That means if you increase the flow rate, decrease the retention time. That you know very well. So how the parameters are influencing on the output, to know this you will get this equation. That's all. So that we can, if you keep y in place of y, critical plates you can keep, and you can keep resolution. So whatever the parameter you want to keep, you can keep accordingly, then you will get the result. So finally, the parameter traditional QPD and AQPD. So approach based on empirical approach. At a traditional method lo, we don't have just structure చేసుకొని మీరు మెథడ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ చేసేటప్పుడు మీకు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాము. ట్రై టు యూజ్ విచ్ బుక్ యు ఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్, స్నైడర్లో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ఫస్ట్ ఈ ట్రెడిషనల్లో అవే ఉంటాయి. స్ట్రక్చర్ ఏంటి, డ్రగ్ స్ట్రక్చర్, సాల్యుబిలిటీ, ఆల్ దీస్ పారామీటర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు సీ. సో దట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సీ. Of course here also we are going to see the basic fundamentals of the drug, but we are going in a systematic approach. Next, quality is assured by end product testing. So ఇక్కడ మామూలుగా ఫైనల్గా ఓకే మనకు పీక్ వచ్చింది ఫైనల్గా అంటేనే యూ కెన్ సే దట్ ఓకే గుడ్ పీక్. బట్ ఇక్కడ అలా కాదు. రోబస్నెస్ అండ్ రిప్రొడ్యూసిబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ద మెథడ్ ఇన్బిల్ట్ ఉంటుంది. రోబస్నెస్ కానీ మెథడ్ రిప్రొడ్యూసిబిలిటీ. సో మనకు ఫిక్స్డ్ ఆ కాలం కండిషన్స్ ఫిక్స్ చేస్తే 4.5 ఫిక్స్డ్. అండ్ ఈవెన్ దో ఇఫ్ యూ చేంజ్ స్లైట్లీ ఆల్సో, బికాస్ ఇన్ ద ప్రీవియస్ స్లైడ్ యూ హ్యావ్ సీన్. సో హియర్ ఇక్కడ పెట్టినా సేమ్ ఆర్టీ వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ స్పేస్ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకో, ఎనీవేర్ యూ కెన్ కీప్, యూ విల్ గెట్ ద సేమ్ ఆర్టీ. సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఈ సర్కిల్ మొత్తం 1 pH, I mean 1 RT, and this second one is having another RT. Either you can keep here or here or here, you will get the same RT. So we have lot of space here to work. So that's why you can say that robustness, the method is robustness. So in robustness what we are doing, just slightly changing, but here no need to do, I mean uprightly. Even though you are changing little bit excess also, you will be getting the same result. And FDA submission, so including only data for submission here, but whereas here submission with product knowledge and assuring analytical target. So if you submit like Rajamouli movie undi kada, stamp ester last lo atla, we can give assurity, my product will be or my method will be acceptable, like that with assurity we can submit for FDA because you have confidence. That means you have developed a systematic manner. And specifications are based on the batch history, previous batch history, but here based on the method performance and ATP criteria. Process frozen and discourages changes. So ఎందుకంటే స్లైడ్గా చేసేసినా కూడా ఆర్టీ అయినా మారిపోవచ్చు, రిటెన్షన్ టైం, ఐ మీన్ థియరిటికల్ ప్లేట్స్ మారచ్చు, ఇంకోటి ఏదైనా మారిపోవచ్చు, బట్ హియర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ రోబస్ట్ మెథడ్. అండ్ టార్గెటెడ్ రెస్పాన్స్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఆన్ ద రిప్రొడ్యూసిబిలిటీ అండ్ ఇగ్నోరింగ్ వేరియేషన్స్. రిప్రొడ్యూసిబిలిటీ వస్తుందా రాదా టెన్షన్, but here it is not focus on a robust and cost effective method. Why? Because only 16 trials maximum. And advantage, limited and simple, and it is having replacing the need of revalidation చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. So minimizing OOT and OOS. So of course AQBD regulatory perspective is going on increasing. If you see in the 2020 it is decreased and the green line increases. So if you see the 2010, very few companies were using AQBD, but nowadays almost equal, but now in the 2020 it is greater than the normal approach. So finally the AQBD requires the right ATP. First you have to select right ATP analytical target profile, and a risk assessment you have to do properly. And risk assessment nothing but here I told you now we have to select extreme values, so that is nothing but risk assessment. So that's why the table preparation is very important, that is called as risk assessment. And usage of right tools and performing the appropriate quantity and of work within a proper timelines. So the right analytics at the right time will give you AQBD. Thank you. So any doubts please, feel like a class.
Slide number 14.
Yeah, please. 14.
Sir, అది కింద ఏం సార్, అది DLHS అంటే
Sure.
కింద ఉంది సార్, డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ క్వాలిటీ అష్యూరెన్స్.
I don't know. Actually, oh, this one you are asking. This is copied slide. Copied slide. Slide copied. I thought it is, I mean, he is asking some technical doubt. Yeah, Rama, please.
What are the ways to reduce back pressure of college?
Ways to reduce
What are the possible ways of reducing back pressure?
back pressure. Very good. Please, Rama. So I think Chandrasekhar can answer, but as it is a seminar, I have the answer because he knows very well. He is doing a project. So first we have to see the back pressure or column pressure should be within the range, that is maximum we will go for up to 3000 psi, this Pascal per square inch, or 300 bar will be using. So if why the back pressure is increasing, first we have to consider. We have to see. So the major reasons are, if anything is blockage. One thing, if you are not degassing the solvents, mobile phase, so the air bubble formation, so that will be blocking the column or tubings. So that is the first reason. And if you are not filtering the solvents with 0.45 micron filter paper, so that's the second reason. And the third one is, if you have loaded column with high concentration or high quantity, the column is loaded with a high concentration or high quality, again the back pressure will be high. So in these conditions, how we will be going for means troubleshooting is nothing but, so we have to check whether these three things we have done or not. That means degassing have we done or not, and then we have filtered the solution or not, and then if the column is having any high load previous injection, anything is there or not. To check that we have to inject the blank. So we have to run the column until you will get a stable line. So when you are getting a stable line with a high percent of organic phase and less percentage of aqueous phase, it will be in the range of 100 bar. That means 1000 psi pressure with 80-20 ratio, 80 methanol or ACN and 20 aqueous phase. If you keep, the pressure will be maintained 100 or below 100. So if it is still it is in higher range for that composition, that means there is something in problem with the column. That means you have to take the baseline. That means we have to wait for the baseline until unless you will get a baseline. Further is still if we are getting means we are unable to elute out the components which are blocked in the column. So the last option is you have to change the column. So that's why while you are doing any analysis, first try to filter the solution. Even though you are injecting it through the injection mode, even though you have clear solution, try to inject with the injection filter. Especially while you are using any unknown sample given by some other third party, definitely you have to filter the solution and you have to give. So otherwise you will be in trouble, because they will be giving 1000 rupees or 2000 rupees per injection, but your column costing around 25 to 30,000. So you will be in trouble for that. So that's why always we have to be focus on the filter cleaning, injection filter.
Any doubts? Power calculator is a very good question. Those are the conditions we have to maintain. Because మీరు ఇంకేమైనా చేశారా వీటికి కాలం లూప్లో ఏదైనా ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో ఆల్రెడీ సంథింగ్ చెప్పాను yesterday, the loop is blocked, but if the loop is done, that cannot be having column calculator. But if you are rejecting the loop, that will not go to the loop. Again, it will be flushing out back. So in such conditions, that is column calculator is the power solution. But loop we are able to communicate so that anything is there doesn't come out. Yes. Okay, thank you sir for sharing your knowledge with us.